Hi, I'm Marty Schupak. Welcome to Schupak Sports. This episode, we're going to continue with some drills for T-ball for kids 4 years old, and in fact, even younger, like 3 years old. We did one episode, and the feedback has been very, very good, really good. I appreciate it, and I want to thank you all of those who signed up and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it. We want to keep this format going the way it is. But before we start, and it's going to be a brief session, I love trivia. Here's a trivia question. What actor played minor league baseball? I'll give you three choices. Was it the late Ray Liotta, who just passed away? Was it Kurt Russell? Or was it Kevin Costner? Which of those three actors played minor league baseball? Okay, I had some feedback, and one question was, at what point do you know if your child is lefty or righty? The research I've done, it says anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. Usually it's determined. Now, between that time, if your son or daughter picks up an object with the left hand, don't all of a sudden say, oh, honey, Mary's lefty. It'll change back and forth, and you'll notice when they're favoring one arm over and over and over again that that's what they are, either lefty or righty. Also, when we're talking about motor skills, and you really don't have to get too deep into this, they talk about learning the skill or learning the concept of movement. For young kids, we want to focus on the concept of movement or the actual process of how to do something. For instance, if a player, a 3 or 4 year old, cannot hit a ball off a batting tee, don't worry about that skill. You're teaching them the process or the movement. There are things you could do to make them succeed. And one of the things I point out, I've done it for years in T-ball. You go out, you buy a bathroom plunger, and if you go to a home center, they're like $2 or $3, the short handle type. Put it upside down in a tee, put a kickball on the plunger. That way you're putting them in a position to succeed. You're teaching them the actual movement. They will hit that ball. And you don't have to go from a kickball down to a regular baseball. You can work your way down. It's a great concept, though, okay? As far as throwing, I had a number of emails about throwing, okay? This can vary like everything else with kids. Keep in mind that usually young kids, if they have older brothers or sisters that are athletic, they'll be a little further along than other kids on a T-ball team, just because they want to emulate the brother and sister, or they'll go out and play with them. All right, so don't fret if your son and daughter, you don't think that they're progressing. I've been saying this forever. They progress at different stages. And I read something this week, Jeff McNeil, the wonderful hitter for the New York Mets, he didn't start playing baseball until he was a senior year. He was a senior in high school. His first love was golf, and he was pursuing golf full force. It wasn't until that he did really bad in a couple of junior tournaments that he decided to change. So now, look, that's a professional athlete. That's less than 1% of you and me and everyone else out there. But it's just an example of someone that changed sports, though, too. All right, let me go over a couple of drills. We're going to keep this short because you seem to love the drills. This is the color code recognition. You could do this any way you want. And what we do is we take balls, and you could either do two things. You could take a colored Sharpie, like green, red, or yellow. I prefer to go to like a Staples, and they sell these round colored stick-ons. They're about the size of a quarter, all different colors. I just don't like to face my baseball. So I'll put on the balls like a green one on two sides. And you could do green, red, and yellow. You could roll it, and your son or daughter has to yell out the color. Now, at the beginning, they don't even have to catch it. You just want to get them interested and to recognize the color. And it's going to help them focus. In fact, if you use really soft covered balls, you could just tell them when you roll it to yell out the color, and they could kick it away. All right? You could work up to having them catch the ball. Doesn't have to do with the glove, could be barehanded. So that's the color code recognition. It's a good drill. A lot of kids take to it though, all right? You might want to try that. Use the soft covered ball if they're T-ball age. And the next drill is 1 bounce, 2 bounce. This is a challenging drill for 3 and 4 year olds, but you can still get something out of it if you go to a school and you throw the ball against the wall, tennis ball, and you tell your son and daughter, try to stop it after 1 bounce and try to stop it after 2 bounces. Kids that young, the chances are they're not going to relate to a number. You're going to throw it against the wall and just tell them to stop the ball or catch it. All right. And the chances are they won't catch it. But you're getting them into a habit of following the ball and focusing on them. Now, if you want to move up to the 1 bounce, 2 bounce, what you want to do is you want to yell out the bounces with them. If you do this, don't just take 1 tennis ball to the school, take like 3 or 4. And one of the ways you might want to start, you don't want to have them field it or stop it. You just tell them to stand there, throw the ball against the wall, and count the bounces together. Okay, that's a nice little exercise. Okay, so that's the second drill. And we're going to close this out with this. This is similar to a drill from the last one. And what this is a balloon hit. You blow up like 3 or 4 balloons. You give your son or daughter a bat, and you float it up, and as it drops, they have to hit it. I would use a wiffle ball bat or one of those big red plastic bats. This is a lot of fun. Again, all these drills that I'm showing you, some of them only last from 1 to 3 minutes, but that's what you're dealing with really young kids. Don't think you're going to go outside in the backyard, the schoolyard, and play ball with a 3 or 4 year old for 2 hours. It's not going to happen, and you shouldn't do that. Okay, so we're going to close it out. It's a small episode, but I just wanted to cover a couple of things because the first session, you guys gave me some really nice comments, so I appreciate that. And as far as products, I urge you, these drills are all included in the T-ball drills. It's my latest T-ball book. You have 110 drills, and I urge you, check it out. You don't have to buy it. Go to your library and demand that they get it if they don't have it. That's T-ball drills. And the other one I've been pushing, and the reason being, if you're getting involved in baseball and softball, you need this book. And I would urge you to purchase this, Baseball Coaching, because you'll refer to this for like 5 or 6 years, I promise you. I have 60 sample practices. And in fact, if you do purchase it and you could afford it, also purchase the electronic version, okay? The digital version. The reason being, I set it up the way I would like a book to be set up. When I have the sample practices listed and I list the drills, and let me see if I can get to just a page. So here, it's showing you a sample of the sample practices. So if you go to practice number 9, for instance, I have turn drill, and you forget what it was. If it's the digital version, you click it and it takes you right to the description in the book. So those are two products. And hey, listen, for all you fathers out there, really have a wonderful Father's Day. And I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope the mothers out there will treat their dads really nice on their day. All right, let's get back to the trivia question before we close this out. The question was, what actor played minor league baseball? Was it the late Ray Liotta, Kurt Russell, or Kevin Costner? The answer was Kurt Russell. He was actually a pretty good ball player. He played anywhere from, I believe, 2 to 2.5 years. I'm not sure why he quit. A lot of times people that are actors that tried sports, they leave sports because of injuries. I know the late Burt Reynolds was a heck of a football player. He had to leave because of an injury. So we're going to close this out. Remember, your son and daughter, there's a superstar in them. We just have to find out what activity it is. And I'll meet you at third base.